All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is our last demo for the day. I want to thank you guys for sticking with us. What we have right now is our new introductions into the liquid applied waterproofing segment. Right. So before I get started, I want to go over some basic housekeeping. If you look on each of your chairs, you would have gotten our sell sheet for these new introductions, as well as a entrant to win some Laticrete swag. So if you scan your QR code, you're going to be entered into a drawing. You can win some nice prizes. So take advantage of that while you guys are sitting here and listening to the presentation. In addition, at some point in the presentation, we will also be handing out samples of the physical material, so you guys can get a sense of what it looks like, what it feels like, and that's going to be accompanied with the specific specs and the features and benefits of said material on the back of that card. Let me just give these guys a chance to get going. So again, to get started, on behalf of the Laticrete family, I want to thank you guys for taking some time out of your day, time out of your coverage experience to come listen to what we have new and improved, the latest and the greatest within our liquid applied waterproofing space. So when you think about liquid applied waterproofing as a whole, it's one of those pillar categories that Laticrete has really been built on. It's one of those strengths. It's one of those bread and butter type categories that we like to continue to innovate on, be market leaders. Right? When you think about the history of innovation within the space, it started in 1974 with the introduction of 9235. That was the first product that got you into a workable time with regard to flood testing. It was also one that required the use of fabric to reinforce corners, coves, and transitions. So with that, we further innovated. And in 2007, we came out with the introduction of HydraBand. Now, show of hands, how many of you guys are familiar with our HydraBand product? Currently use it, currently like it, currently don't like it, currently hopefully love it. We could talk about that later. Thank you. With that, we wanted to continue to innovate, right? And we want to innovate on both ends because we know there's price-conscious jobs and then there are spec-intensive concept jobs. So we're going to talk you through two different products. The first being Hydra Barrier Plus, which is an enhancement on our regular Hydra Barrier SKU, and then also HydraBand XP, so our extended performance version of HydraBand. So before I get started, let me go with some introductions. With me, I have Jill Bagnoles, Technical Sales Manager from our Tech Service Department, and then Mr. Adrian Rivera, Technical Sales Rep for here in South Florida, previously of our Tech Serve team. So a plethora of knowledge between the guys on stage, worked in the industry, and they can help answer some questions as we get through this presentation afterwards. Can I get the first slide? All right, so Hydra Barrier Plus. What is Hydra Barrier Plus, right? We're going to get into it. So what we're going to have here in the demo is a fictitious shower wall. We've taken some liberties, and I'll explain the liberties that we've taken in that we laid down a piece of HydraBand board to act as our pseudo shower pan. It is not thin set it in. However, when dealing with shower pans, we do recommend that you follow the installation instructions of the manufacturer with regard to thin setting it down to the substrate. And then we have our Hardy backer board, 2 sets of Hardy backer board. Again, for the sake of time, we have not treated the penetrations and or the coves. Again, follow your installation instructions by the backer board manufacturer for the correct way to seal off those seams and penetrations. So Adrian's going to get started and roll out the first coat of Hydra Barrier on the left side of the wall. On the second side, we've already taken the liberty to speed up time, and we've added that coat on there just so you can see the difference between applied wet and cured dry in between the first and the second coats. So I'm going to go back to my slides. I'll talk you through some of the features and benefits. So what this is, what the improvements we made on Hydra Barrier are is you no longer are going to need to use that fabric on the corners, coves, and penetrations. In addition, the flood test is down from 24 hours to 12 hours. So we're speeding up the overall time of the installation. The warranty, which I know is very important with regard to waterproofing systems, is going to be upped from a 5 to a 10-year warranty. In addition to the warranty enhancements, it's going to be Green Guard certified. It's IATMO certified. It meets or exceeds all ANSI A1 1810 and 1812 standards. And in addition, it is going to be coming in a 5-gallon pail. So as you can see, here are the different configurations we have. You're going to have your 4x1, so you're going to get a pack of 4 1-gallon pails with roughly roughly 50 square feet of coverage per pail. You're going to get your 3.5 gallon, which is a poured over from our current Hydro Barrier product. And now you're going to get, like I said, the 5 gallon, which is more, similar and akin to what we sell in Hydro Band currently. And then also the ability to purchase the 275 gallon tote. So direct comparison, new versus old. Like I said, you're looking at a 12-hour flood test down from 24. No more fabric requirements on seams, transitions, and penetrations. Microban is going to be included in the world we live in now. It is important for antimicrobial protection. We have a partnership with Microban. We like to leverage that partnership. It's a well-known name within the industry, and it's something that's it's prevalent within the time. Again, like I said, meets or exceeds ANSI A1 1810 for waterproofing, and then 1812 for crack isolation, and available in the configurations we talked about. All of the uses are going to be very similar to what you're seeing on the current product. It's a plethora of both interior and exterior, anywhere from a kitchen backsplash all the way up to a swimming pool. So as you can see, Adrian has added in the first coat and the second coat. So we're gonna let that one cure, and then we're gonna transition over to Hydro Band XP. All right, so Hydro Band XP, it's a new enhanced version of our Hydro Band formula. So what are the differences? There's a couple main ones. One, it is now going to be steam shower and steam room rated. So the permeance ratings are going to allow for you to use that within the steam shower and steam room type installations. Two, we've dropped the minimum substrate and ambient temperature for curing to 35. That's down from 50. So it gives you a wide range of usage within a number of different environmental conditions at the low end. So you can get to work quicker and obviously build up, depending on the given installation, what the temperature is on both the substrate and in the air around it. Again, it'll continue to meet or exceed all ANSI A1 1810 and 1812 standards. It will be IATMO and Green Guard certified. It has an extra heavy service rating with regard to the Robinson ASTM C627 testing, and it falls under our lifetime system warranty. So again, very important when you're thinking about a waterproof type installation to have that company-backed lifetime warranty, so you know that you're protected with regard to that installation for the foreseeable future. Much like Hydro Barrier, it's going to come in 1 gallon, 5 gallon, and 275 gallon configurations, similar to what Hydro Band comes in now, giving you anywhere from 50 square feet of coverage on the low end, all the way up to 13,750 when you're using the tote. Similar to what we walked through on Hydro Barrier Plus, when you're looking at Hydro Band versus Hydro Band XP, the key takeaways, what you really want to focus on, and I'll get to one more visual one in a minute, is now rated for steam showers and steam rooms, the minimum surface temperature and ambient temperature of the air dropped down to 35 degrees versus 50. The last, and I didn't include it on any of these slides specifically because I wanted you guys to be able to see it visually, is it's a lighter color when compared to our current Hydro Band formula. That was done for ease of layout and ease of sight in dim lit situations. So not everybody has that optimally lit installation where they're using or applying the waterproofing. We've dropped that down so it works with a plethora of different chalk lines and also obviously laser levels. So Adrian is done adding the first coat and he's added the second coat to the top. Now we recommend, and we have and we provide, the wet thickness gauges. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the wet thickness gauges, but it is a tool for us to make sure that installation instructions are followed to the T to guarantee the integrity of the waterproofing. And Jill is going to walk you through proper usage with regard to using it on both our Hydro Band and Hydro Barrier Plus membrane.
So I'm just going to demonstrate this on the Hydro Barrier. That's all you. Hydro Band XP.
Sorry about that.
So every single coat, you're looking for about 18 to 20 mil wet. So basically, as soon as Adrian's done painting, you can kind of go behind him and check his work. All you really have to do is kind of put it down right here, drag it maybe a ½ inch to an inch, and then you kind of see which notches on the film gauge has been hit. So right here, I can see that I'm getting about 14 to 16. So technically, I'd go back to Adrian and say, hey, can you put it on a little heavier? Another visual cue as far as to how thick you're going is that if you have a branded board right there, if you see the writing through it, then you know you've gone too thin, especially after 2 coats. So use your wet film mesh gauge, or otherwise kind of use your visual cues and figure out how much you have on there. But again, if you see the writing on the board, you can see right through the HydroBand XP, you know you need to add more thickness to it. But I highly recommend this because it'll avoid you a lot of problem and having to go back over it. And I have a bunch to give away.
Yeah, Joe's going to give a couple out. Joe's going to give a couple out right now. One thing I didn't note, and I've been asked a bunch of questions since the launch happened on this, with HydroBand XP, you're not going to need to band or seam tape corners and coves, right? As long as the boards are adhered together and you use the XP in those corners and coves, that's going to maintain the integrity of the steam shower installation. So that is one of the main questions we've gotten so far. So in case anybody asked, just wanted to make sure I covered it. Again, the uses and the substrates, very similar to our current HydroBand product with the addition of the steam showers and the steam rooms. And again, that low-end minimum substrate temperature of 35 degrees or greater. So what I would recommend is, obviously, if you guys have any questions, feel free, hit me off. And then if you want to come up and take a look, you can see the different color of the new HydroBand. I know you guys, a lot of you guys raised your hands when I asked who's used it. You guys can see the differentiation. You can see how it's lighter. We can obviously tell how it's cured, and then you guys can get a sense of what that addition means to the specific physical makeup of the product. Anybody, any questions? Great questions. All right, so the gentleman asked, what's the recommended thickness? So each coat we recommend 20 to 30 mils wet, which winds up drying to 15 to 20. So it's an overall, after the second coat has been applied, 30 to 40 dried. I mean, I'm 20 to, yeah, 30 to 40 dried, yes. Anybody, anything else? Any questions? Freshly, all right, so the question was, what is the recommendation over a freshly made mortar bed? It's check the installation instructions, honestly, for the mortar bed to see when it cures. It's all based on the specifics of that specific makeup. But I will get you the, I'll get you the estimations. We have estimated. I'll provide that separately. I'll bring that over. Anybody, anything? All right, so with that, I thank you for taking the time out. Again, if you guys want to come up, check out the material, roll some material on the wall, feel free. The floor is yours. And again, thank you very much for spending some time with us this afternoon.